welcome to the second session. The Chancellor's procession this time is led by the Chairperson of Council and the Vice Chairperson, followed by the Academic Registrar, Dr. Anne Mufisa, followed by the Vice Chancellor and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs. And the Chancellor, led by the MES, which is the instrumental authority of the Chancellor, Professor John Sebufu. And we are honored to have the Minister of State for Education, Dr. Jesse Muyingo. You are most welcome. We will stay standing and we will have the anthems.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu.
Abba. the gift of this new day.
Get inspired and motivated.
Mr. Chancellor, sir, you're most welcome. The second session. The Chancellor's procession this time is led by the Chairperson of Council and the Vice Chairperson, followed by the Academic Registrar, Dr. Anne Visa, followed by the Vice Chancellor and the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic Affairs.
Kyambogo is brought to you by.
Grab an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi Max today and drink to your bold lifestyle. Enjoy maximum taste with no sugar. Now available at a shop near you.
Maximum taste, no sugar.
Program Guide
is brought to you by
Star Times is with you no matter the situation. Program Guide. Simply subscribe to Classic or Smart Bouquet at only 28,000 shillings for a month and give your family a complete TV entertainment. Star Times is with you no matter the situation.
The Universal Periodic Review, UPR, is a unique process under the United Nations human rights system. It involves the peer review of the human rights records of all United Nations member states every 4 years and is purely a voluntary process where all states are treated as equal partners. The ultimate aim of this mechanism is to help improve on the human rights situation in all countries and address any human rights concerns through technical assistance and cooperation. As the coordinating entity of the CSO's process, the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders Uganda, with the support of GIZ Uganda, is hosting a talk show on Uganda's Universal Periodic Review, Access in Progress, on the transitional justice question. This Wednesday on the 22nd September 2021 from 3 p.m.